In today's Devember update, code cleanups and working with playlists. Hey, hello fellow Sublime Text fanatics, Odat Nerd here for your Devember devlog for Devember the 11th. And the things we did today. Let's go ahead and jump on into the code to see. Now, if you were part of the stream yesterday, you'll know that we spent a bunch of time working on being able to browse things by tag, browsing things by video, and things by timecode, things we could all do previously, but they're now all chained together in quick panel form. So you can start by choosing from a list of tags, see the list of videos associated with that, choose a video from inside of that list, choose a time code from inside, and in any one of those hierarchically go back up to a prior level. And we did that with code from earlier in the week in a separate branch. When that stream was finished, we had ostensibly a bunch of commits in a branch that I didn't actually want because the very first commits were including a duplicate of a command just to be able to play with. And the rules of Devember being what they are, all code has to be made publicly available. So I added it to a temporary branch. After the stream was over, I cherry picked the appropriate things out of that temporary branch, rebased things a little bit because there were some commits that were crammed together when they shouldn't have been, made everything all nice, re-implemented that simple command as extra arguments and stuff into the actual command that existed, and you're now caught up to what's happening here. And I say all of that because the very first thing that I did today was include a missing source from the previous commit. This is something that happened after the stream. I tweeted out that this actually happened, and then I accidentally forgot to add this file to the commit, and I didn't realize it until earlier today when I tried to use this on my other computer in there. It didn't work. I came in here, realized I forgot this. So there we go. A very small amount of changes made in here. After this, I did a little bit of code cleanup in the items here. Now we have a few things here. We have select tag, we have select time code, and we have select video. These three things take a list of tags, videos, or time codes in a video, respectively, or specifically select time code takes an actual video and grabs the time code information out, presents it to you in a quick panel list, optionally with the ability to go back to a prior level, and invokes a callback. So I wanted to tweak these things up a little bit. So the first thing I did was reorganize things in the file to make things a little bit nicer. And then we moved on to enhancing select tag for allowing to go back, as we can see here. This is something that didn't happen previously, but if we're going to want to do what we're going to continue doing here in the rest of this Devember update, and which isn't finished yet, we do want the ability to prompt the user for selecting a tag from a list of known videos, but still be able to go back to somewhere. In the implementation that we had currently, before this change started, that wasn't possible because the first thing that would happen is it would gather all of the videos that are on the channel, gather their tags, and do this, or just show you all the videos on the channel. This is how that command actually works. But we're actually augmenting that. So I modified select tag to allow you to go back if you wanted to. And then we needed to actually do some stuff to actually gather the results of the list of playlists that are on a channel. There's a couple of ways that this can work. Let's take a quick look at the code here. We can see how easy it is with the way the code is structured currently to add a new request. We specify one in here that the request is this. This is what the method should be to actually invoke that. And when we scroll down here, we can see the entire contents of it here. Now, there's two things that we can do here. We can invoke this with the request having a channel ID inside of it. And if you do, what you're saying is, please give me all the playlists associated with this channel. Simple enough. If you don't provide that argument, what you instead get is mine true, which is the way of telling the YouTube API that what you want is all of your playlists, or the playlist associated with the currently logged in user. This is normally the one that we're going to be using. These two things return the exact same information no matter what. If the channel ID is a channel owned by you and you're the logged in user, where this gets different is in if you were to use a channel ID of a channel that's not your channel, in which case you would get the playlist associated with that channel, but you'd only get public playlists, whereas here we can get all of them. And then very simply, it just gathers the information and spits it back out at you. So that's a very easy change to make, although it did take a little bit of playing to determine exactly which parts we want in here. But as we can see, we want the playlist ID. We need that to be able to get the contents. We want to know how many items are contained in said playlist, information like the title so that we can display it nicely in the panel, and whether or not it's private, public, or unlisted, although I don't think unlisted is one of the options there. But nevertheless, we do need to know that for display inside of the panel. And with that change in play, we actually went into the ability to actually select a playlist. And so this adds a method similar to select video, select tag, and select time code to be able to actually select uh, a playlist. And as we can see here, this is a very simple operation. Now I've implemented show the back item here, which means while you're looking at a playlist, you could theoretically, if you wanted to, be told that someone's going back from here. Although we don't have anything that we'd want to use this for yet, we just had to do it for tag, might as well do it for this too. And this very simply just takes the list of playlists that you have, displays them optionally with the item telling you to go back, and then invokes the callback telling you which item you picked, which would be none if you canceled, the special playlist ID back if you chose to go back, otherwise the selected playlist. No rocket science going on here. And after this, I did just a little bit of a cleanup here because it occurred to me when we're doing some things like selecting a video, what it was doing was sorting the list of videos, in this particular case by view count. But realistically, select video is just for showing you a list of videos and displaying it. So it seemed like a good idea to instead have this function just assume that whatever you give it is what it should display. Then you have control over what it displays, right? And to that end, there was a slight change that had to happen in the get video link command so that instead of just calling select video, it has to do the sort itself in a couple of places here in order to make sure that things work. And one of these is for whether you're searching by tag and one where you're not. If you're not searching by tag, then you just get the list of videos. If you are searching by tag, you have to wait for the tag to be selected to get the list of videos that are contained within that tag, the videos that have that tag, before you call the sort. So nothing too great going on there. And that is the only the rest of the changes that happen here. Now there is one more branch here that this is already pushed up as I record this that has one extra commit, which is, as we say, an experimental modification on the command that we've been working on for selecting videos to copy things. And what we have here now is the ability to optionally, if you want to, be prompted for a playlist. Because up to now, this is always assumed you just want to work with the videos in the uploads playlist. But there's a different playlist on my channel and probably for anybody else that might want to use this thing. So we have the ability to do that now. In order to do that, we have some extra information we need to store here because when you use that playlist API to ask in the YouTube thing, please tell me the list of playlists, what you get are things like this is the ID, this is the title, this is the description, this is the privacy status. If you ask, this is the number of videos that are in it. To get the uploads playlist, that's not associated with the user, that's associated with the channel. So that comes as part of the channel information, and the only information you get with that is the ID. You don't get anything else. You just have to know that that means the uploaded videos, and that is a private playlist. Nobody knows the whole breadth of the videos on the channel but the person that has access to the channel, right? Otherwise, there would be no point in making videos private. People would know that they existed. So this is just a little stub that we have that has all the information that's needed by the playlist chooser that we implemented previously with a title and a contrived status and no item count that allows the panel to know that there's actually nothing in this until the very first time you select it, which isn't implemented yet, and then we just stick the placeholder in. And this is in this experimental branch because it's not done yet. Now we're going to do the same thing with this with playlists as we did with tags. This is an argument you can give the command, defaults to false, and we can see some very simple things here. Previously, channel details used to just ask for the content of the uploads playlist. Now we create a copy of that template, set the ID to the uploads playlist, and then if we're using playlists, ask for the list of playlists. Otherwise, just specifically pick a playlist. And we can see here that when we make this request, this is where it comes back to, and it just calls the select playlist item with the callback of pick playlist. So this either directly invokes the playlist endpoint here to show you the uploads information or sorry, to gather the contents of that and then do something with it, I should say, is a better way to say that. Or it asks you for the playlist first. Now, there's just a tiny bit of more work done in here, and this, as implemented, works great in a forward direction. If you say that you want to use playlists, and the first thing you get shown is a list of all of the playlists, and upload is one of those items. Choosing one of those will show you either the videos in that playlist or the tags for the videos in that playlist. Then you could either choose a tag to go into videos or choose a video to get into the time code if there is one. Everything still works the same way. What's not implemented yet and what's going to happen tomorrow, possibly tomorrow and Sunday, because as we know, I don't have as much time to work on videos and code for Devember because I got other things going on the weekend. So I may not have enough time to focus on this because it's kind of a potentially hairy problem. If you watched yesterday's live stream, then you would know that, and you can check the playlist or check the channel, which is down below. Subscribe if you want to, and ring the bell notification icon. Also, if you want to get in on the live streams while they're happening. But if you decide you want to go backwards from the list of videos or backwards from tags, that should take you, if you're using uh, playlist choosing, back to the list of playlists, and it doesn't currently do that. So that's what's going to be implemented. The next thing to implement it after this is making requests smarter, because right now getting playlist contents gets the list of videos in that and then fetches down the details, and that result is cached, but as a whole. So if you were to do the same, you go into the uploads playlist, fetch all the information, say, no, I want to target in, go back out, come into the Plugin 101 playlist, for example, which is a playlist of videos teaching how to be a package and plugin author, which you can find on my alternate channel, linked in my main channel, I should say. This is the alternate channel linked down in the description below this video. Then you would find that it would gather the same video information again, even though it already gathered it. So those are the things we're going to be working on there. This one went a little bit long, but that's because the work that we're going to be doing on the weekend, not quite so much. So remember, the golden mantra, if you like what you're seeing on this channel and you want to be participating in the live streams, we've been going long all through November. Use the buttons down below to thumb, subscribe, and share. Ring the bell notification icon for this channel. If you want to see tutorial videos and other guides for Sublime Text in a non-live format, there's down in the description a link to my main channel, which you can do the same. Thumb, subscribe, and share, and bell notification icon as well if you want to see those videos. Until either of those, I'll see you tomorrow in tomorrow's update. So until then, this is ODAT Nerd asking you to please have a sublime day.